inspired, fully engaged. You're tuning in to Reality with Vicki Gunvalson.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Reality with Vicki. Thank you for subscribing. We are moving up on the charts. We're at one of the top 10. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends, give 5 stars because you know how I love 5 stars. Today's guest is one of your fan favorites and one of mine. I'm gonna cry. My daughter Briana. Welcome, Briana.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
You're in your new home.
Yes.
And I'm in my new home.
I know, lots of changes.
You haven't seen it yet, but I made the plunge. What you've been telling me to do for years, which is selling the big house and downsizing so I can lock and go and come see you a lot. Yeah. So I got you in Hawaii, Michael in Hawaii, and you in Illinois. So my frequent flyer miles are going to be definitely catching up. So yeah. I know you're busy. You've got 3 babies. You're working full-time, part-time, full-time as a nurse. And I am just so proud of you. I can't even tell you.
Thank you.
You kind of conquer it all. Yeah.
It's a lot. And Troy's home from school on his little virtual day. So he's downstairs in the kitchen with all this stuff everywhere. And so I'm kind of hiding upstairs.
Good for you. So I know the move was a lot on you, and I want to touch on some of our famous crazy moments on starting the reality show, The Real Housewives of Orange County. You were how old when we started?
18, senior year of high school. Now I'm 34.
You are now 34. So those of you that are listening and have watched Briana, she was going to prom with Colby all the way through getting married to Ryan, all the way through having the first baby, Troy, and he was on camera. It has been a journey. And then last year, Bravo pulled the plug on us. So I think they would have had one of the best seasons ever this year. I know. I mean, seriously, Briana, the stuff that you and I have gone through this year,
we always have stuff going on.
They've missed out. So you've transitioned well back to our Midwest roots. And I always say people from the Midwest, there's something about us, right? Yeah. I mean, they're solid. We raise good people. And it's not that California doesn't. I just think it's different. I think that the people here in California are very privileged, more so than we've ever been grown up as. And I think that the entitlement is huge out here.
Yeah. Values are just a little different. Like we have dinner together every night at the table. We spend good quality time together. It's not so much about like the go. I love that. And we all do that, but you have to have a good balance.
Right.
And here it's all about kids going to sports and coming home, eating a pot roast and going to bed. It's just simple, real people, real, like wholesome.
Yeah. So, when I look at all my friends from there, like Sandy and Tracy and Jeannie and Betty and Gailey, like all of them have raised good people, going to college, working hard, respect for their parents. I just look at just when I raised you and Michael, you were 8 when you moved to California, another 8 years when you went, in California in high school and stuff. You turned out to be quality. And that's not saying that the people in California aren't,
right?
But the values, the Midwestern work hard, play hard values are huge, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm super happy you're back in Illinois because it only takes me 3.5 hours to come see you versus 12.
Yeah. And Aunt Lisa, your sister, is coming over to do laundry in about 20 minutes because her dryer broke. So that's fun.
And you guys are super close. You've always been close to my sister, as I am with her 3 kids. And I don't know, family is just everything. And so I love that I had the chance to move. Briana, you missed out on a move from hell on me. I mean, it was the other night I was sitting with Brittany outside. I'm like, we got everything out of the house, right? And I gave Beckham and Braden, my friend's daughter's son, $1 for everything that we might have missed at the house. So they were running around all the cabinets. Well, Beckham made $20. There was 20 things I left behind, and Braden made 10. And so then we get back to the house and we're having a glass of wine in this little backyard. And I go, we got the attic, right? And Brittany goes, you didn't get the attic? and we flew in our cars, went over there. It was filled.
Ugh.
Filled. So I had to go to Tina and Dan's house, pick up a pickup truck. Brittany's handing me stuff. Sean shows up. I mean, it was like a night. It was like, where's the cameras? You can't make this shit up. So
yeah.
Anyways, chaos. But let's talk about your move from North Carolina to Illinois.
Yeah,
how chaotic was that?
Yeah, COVID year was weird. We just kind of, I think it was stressful for everybody. And I think we just needed to be around family and just ready for a change a little bit. I don't know, like we just don't very like sit still very well. And like, it just, we're still looking for our forever home.
Right.
I think we can have it here, but to be so close to family and have them show up to baseball games and stuff, that's the biggest deciding factor. And also trying to maximize Ryan's retirement benefits. Illinois has a lot more benefits than North Carolina did. So we're just trying to find our way in the world still. And this is such a good foundation to give our kids. So
let's talk about how you just got a job. And how did you get that?
Oh God, we were here for 5 days, and Troy and Owen were playing outside. Owen's 6, Troy's 8. And they were roughhousing around some rocks. Owen slipped and fell, got a concussion, and split his head open. Had to bring him to a local ER. And while I was there, I asked them if they were hiring. They said, yes, we just had 6 nurses leave. We're desperate. So I basically applied right there. The manager of the ER called me the next day from her personal cell phone and said, when can you start? And so that's how I found a job, thanks to Owen.
And I think the funniest thing was one of the girls there said what about me?
She went to high school with you.
Right. She's like, isn't your mom Vicki? I went to high school with her. Like,
yeah, isn't that funny?
That's so fun. So it's good that you can kind of plant yourself back in a community that you really never lived as an adult, and you know people. So all my friends love you. And
one of our little neighbors had a food truck the other day. We went over there, and some guy named Dan Shu or something said, I went to high school with your mom. He said, I went to high school with your mom.
Oh, I like Dan Shu.
So we got tacos at the taco truck together.
One thing, that's so fun. One thing that I'm going to say about the Midwestern people also is they stay married.
Yeah.
They stay married. All my high school friends, they went through bumps, but they never got divorced.
Yeah.
And they're happy.
Yeah.
So when I think about, if Don and I would still stay in, Barrington or wherever we were going to raise our family, that's where we were at the time. Would we have still been together if there was no reality show and we lived back in the Midwest? My answer is yes.
So. Yeah.
My answer is yes.
So. I think even living in California, if there was no Housewives of Orange County, you'd still be together.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier for me.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
Divorce is hard. Yeah, the divorce when I was 25 was a lot harder than the divorce when I was 7.
Really?
Because at 25, I had just gotten married. I was about to have Troy. And then it was like very split. But like growing up with divorced parents, just like that's all I knew. It was just understood that I saw my dad on Christmas and on trips and called me on my birthday and stuff like that. But now
let's talk about your dad, which is so cool. So he lives close by. You haven't seen much of your dad since we've been in California. But since you moved, he's been over helping you. And I love that.
Yeah, he's a contractor. So I'll call him and say, I got a new light. Can you put it up? Or this light switch isn't working. Or my bathtub was flooding the other day. So I called him. I'm like, what do I do? So I've seen him more in the past month than I probably have my whole life. So
I know. Gosh, Briana.
And my kids have a great grandma. My dad's mom, grandma. She's the only great grandparent my kids have. And she's over and sitting on the floor playing games with them and stuff. So it's good. Yeah,
I'm so happy for you. You just really adapted. So you got your job back. You're making more money in Illinois than you were in North Carolina. Yep. You bought a new car last week. You got a beautiful big house, 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms and a basement, a walkout basement, and a separate house, which has Ryan's like man cave, right?
Yeah, a little shed down there, a little garage.
Isn't that great? So super, super proud, super happy. Whenever I think about how proud I am with you, I start to well up because, as a parent, you do your very best. And those of you that are listening, you do your very best to raise good quality people. And sometimes it's a roll of the dice. It's their decisions on how they they want to be as a human. But when I think about you and Mike, just, I couldn't be prouder. I just really couldn't be prouder. So thank you for being such a good role model for so many people. Now I want to talk about your weight loss, because look at you. I mean, when you were on the Housewives of Orange County, you had gotten pregnant with Troy. You almost died. You had that terrible septic, horrible illness, where we drove from Oklahoma to California, and you were running 105 fever, and you were cross-contaminated and very, very, very sick. And we got you into a very good hospital, and they basically put you in ICU and said, we might have to take her leg. And I was like, no, thank you. But during all that, you were then diagnosed with lupus, right? So those of you that are listening, lupus is an autoimmune disease, and it never goes away, right, Briana? Never goes away. So as a mother, I felt helpless, but I had a really good team of friends that got you into an incredible hospital and basically saved your life. But during that, you were so inflamed. Remember how you said my joints hurt, my face hurts, my neck hurts, this hurts. And so you went through that. We got you healthy. And then what? What happened to make you choose this keto lifestyle?
Ryan's cousin actually came home from an assignment with the Marine Corps. They were stationed in Japan, and they came back to North Carolina, and we just had a little barbecue at our house to see them. And his cousin looked so good, and his wife looked so good, and they were like ripped and thin, and they looked so healthy, and their skin was glowing. I'm like, what are you doing? And they said, oh, we're on this keto diet. And then so the whole dinner, all they did was explain to us, like, you can't eat a raisin, you can't eat apples, you could eat this, you could eat this. And it changes your whole metabolic state of your body, and it makes you have more energy. And weight loss is kind of like a after effect of it. Like I pretty much didn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to lose so much weight. I was thinking the anti-inflammatory process of it. But we went keto the next day, and that was 3 years ago. And we've been keto ever since. I've lost over 90 pounds.
Incredible.
And, I've been fighting public social media for years and years and years. I hate that. I hate, all the comments about the show, because I'll post a picture of like a tree and people are like, your mom's crazy. And I'm like, what? What does that have to do with my,
Really emotional, but not crazy.
Yeah. So I've avoided all the public social media for years and years and years. And then people kept sending me all these messages. I'd get hundreds of messages a day. You look so good. How'd you lose your weight? And so I started saying the keto diet, like, I don't understand it. What do you eat? What do you eat for breakfast? What do you eat for lunch? What do you eat for dinner? What do you eat at a gas station? What do you eat at a restaurant? So then I just started taking pictures of my food, and like this little Instagram kind of has blossomed into helping people. And I get messages that people have lost 60 pounds just eating what I'm eating. And
what's your Instagram name?
It's Keto Culbersons.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would even help one person. And I think it's helping people, and it's making this lifestyle like obtainable and easy and realistic. And it's changed how I view food. We try to tell our boys, you eat food that comes from God first, not a factory. So don't eat Fritos. If you want the crunchy, go get some nuts, or, grab fruit or vegetables before anything else, or a piece of cheese. And we do a lot of grilling, so we always have the meat and the vegetables, and it's just like our plates are colorful. The average plate at a restaurant is going to have potatoes with a side of potatoes with a hamburger on a bun, and it's all brown. Right. And you got to add the greens and the bright carrots and the fruit, and so it's really changed how I view food, and it's changed my life.
Well, I have to tell you, I can be anywhere. I can be at an airport. I can be in a mall, and people come up to me and say, I follow your daughter's Keto Culberson page, and I have lost X amount of weight. And it's incredible the impact you have done. You're kind of, you are paying it forward. Yeah. You know what to do. And so those of you that are listening that are struggling, the best thing about Briana's page is she posts what she eats every day. And some people say, I just eat exactly what Briana's eating. And it's easy. I mean, I can go to McDonald's if I want to, and I will order an egg McMuffin with no bread. Yeah. I get my sausage, my egg, and my cheese, and I'm good. I can just eat it like with knife and fork or like that, and I carry on my way, or whatever it may be. So I've lost 22 pounds since my heaviest on Housewives of Orange County. So I'm the thinnest I've been probably since high school.
Wow.
I know. I'm a size 4 to 6 now. I was always an
Yeah.
8 to a 10.
Yeah.
Never a 12, but I mean, I feel better. I feel definitely better. So you have inspired me.
Yay.
And I think working hard and just everything that you and I do, it's easy to get off course. So I think one of your favorite recipes that I've made most recently, and I don't have a kitchen now because it's gutted. I don't even have a dishwasher or refrigerator or anything. So, Brianna, I do have a refrigerator in the garage. But one of the ones I love is your tomato goat cheese feta.
Yes.
So say that one real quick for their listeners.
So you do like a little log of either feta cheese, like a little block of it, or a little like half log of goat cheese. And then you put tomatoes in there, drizzle it with any oil you like. I like avocado oil, salt, pepper, oregano. If you want that crushed red pepper for a little spice, a little garlic, put that in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes. And then you stir it all up and it becomes like this creamy pasta sauce. And then you can either use like a keto noodle, or you can spiralize zucchini and do like the zoodles. You could do it like over broccoli. You have all these options, but it's just like, it's so easy.
So easy. And
if you're at home and you're like, oh my God, what do I eat? I'm going to go through a drive-through. So then by the time you get in the car and drive all the way to the drive-through, sit in the drive-through, come all the way home, that's 45 minutes. So if you just take the 45 minutes, 30 minutes and just make a quick healthy meal that you just have readily available, you're going to just feel so much better. It's so much better for you. Anti-inflammatory, you know what's in your food.
Yeah. I love that. And I've even brought it to work and heated it up. And you use the little tomatoes, not like a big tomato cut up. You use the little
cherries.
Ones. And you can do tri-colored tomatoes. But to me, that's my go-to if I get home from work and I don't know what to make, and to make that. And so when you talk about healthy noodles, what are those?
I get them from Costco. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, they're just
has no carbs in it, right?
Yeah, there's no carbs, no sugar, and they have the same texture as noodles, and so easy. You just pop them in there.
So easy.
Yeah.
So while you're saying that, I was thinking about. I've seen you a couple times one time since I moved you. I physically moved you with yourself. But I want to talk about like chaos. Like we are chaos. I mean, we can't help it with or without cameras.
We had the car packed, 3 kids, 3 dogs, 5 chickens, trailer, boat, Ryan's excursion, which is 20 years old, and my car, which was only 5 years old. Everything packed, ready to go, pouring rain, North Carolina, route in the phone, ready to go. And my car wouldn't start.
I go to start. I go, click, click, click. I go, Brianna, your car's not starting. She goes, what? I go,
blink, 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 blink. Terrible. Like only us. So then we awkwardly have to call the neighbor through the woods, was the one who bought our house. And he had just been there to receive the keys. So I called him and said,
you have jumpers.
You have jumper cables? And he's like, what? And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like I look like chaotic. I look like trash. Like I can't start my car. I'm trying to leave. I swear you can move in today. Because he was moving in right then.
Right.
They had their truck packed down the street. Were ready to come in. They were ready to go.
And I am driving your car with a boat attached, with the children.
Yes.
With you. And we can't go anywhere. So Ryan's like beeping, like, come on, let's go. He's
pouring rain. And then every time we filled up for gas, we couldn't turn my car off because it wouldn't turn back on. So then we go to one gas station, ask for jumper cables. They said, we got one left. So it's like, we're always chaos.
We're to rest our areas. We made the trip in 2 days. We stopped in Ohio to friends of yours. And it was and is chaos. So heading there, we got to Illinois, and it was like, really, Brianna?
It's always chaos.
Oh, and then the movers forgot one whole room, had to come back. So it is really, I think that's why we stayed on the show for so long. When we think about all the things that we filmed, all the times that we did, we never pre-scripted or thought about what we're going to film. No. All we need is cameras at our house and chaos will happen. Remember, we were heading to Italy? What happened? I ordered a limo with bagels and cream cheese and coffee, and what shows up?
A family van.
And people think that some people say that was the funniest moment ever, but I told
Andy a couple weeks ago when I was on that Watch What Happens Kids special, I said, that's my childhood. Like that wasn't shocking. You saw me sitting in the driveway and I was like, I'll just let my mom figure it out because I'm not going to get in the way. But that's just how our childhood was. It's always chaos. Something always goes wrong.
And
but we're all always in one piece and we always make it. But we just have like crazy luck. Like Ryan always says, he's like, how does this stuff only happen to you and your mom? I'm like, I don't know.
It's the journey. My friend Tina gave me something like, life is not about, sitting on a perch and watching life go by. Life is about, having a cocktail in your hand, woohooing it all the way and ending in your casket with a drink in your hand or something like that. Like life is, I got the saying downstairs, but it is, we do have a lot of fun. So that's a good thing. So you have a boat, you have a brand new car, you got 3 kids. How old is Hank now?
6 months yesterday.
Yay. Is he sleeping?
Yeah, he's sleeping on the other side of this wall.
Oh, can you turn the camera around?
He's in his room.
Is he asleep on his tummy now?
Yes, it scares me.
I know. So he flipped himself?
Yes. He's like me. I'm a stomach sleeper.
I'm a side sleeper.
Are you?
I see. But you sleep with your mouth open. So do I.
Yep. So does Troy.
Let me see.
Can you see?
Oh, look at him. He's such a good baby.
He is. He's in the corner.
He's a good baby.
He's so
I have
sweet.
to tell you, Briana, I think I told you I met with Karen Reese. Gosh, January of last year. She's a medium, and whether you believe or don't believe in mediums, I had met with her once before after Nana died. And she said, I see a Hank in your future. Now, you weren't even pregnant yet.
No, I found out I was pregnant March 25th.
And this was in January where she did a reading. And I'm like, I don't know a Hank. She goes, no, I definitely see a Hank in your future. And I wrote it down in some notes. And then I think I told you after Hank was born, I was going through those notes and I saw that from January. Like, oh my gosh, she said she saw Hank in my future.
Like, what a name. We had no idea we were going to name him that. The boys picked it, and the whole pregnancy, I was like, I can't name him Hank. Oh my God, what is that name? And then I saw him and I was like, well, he's a Hank.
You call him Hanky Wanky.
Hanky Wanky.
So you're happy. My sister's coming over. Tell her I love her. I'm actually going to be coming out next week. It's so great that you're back in Illinois because I can see Lisa and you and my friends, and you got a big house and I have my own room. And it's just
boys love it.
Everything feels good. It feels good right now. So
whenever anybody comes to the house and we give them a tour, the boys are like, that's Nana's room.
And I mess with Owen and I say, I like the right vanity better than the left because he's got
you move his stuff on his sink because you have to use his bathroom and he gets Nana's always moving my stuff. She gets makeup everywhere.
Your kids are very opinionated, very strong-willed. And
I wonder where they get that.
Super good in sports. Well, my mother was a very strong-willed mother. And although my mother never worked outside of the home, she was the most incredible worker in the home. I mean, our home was impeccable. She designed perfectly. Her food was impeccable. She always had a beautiful table set, even when she had somebody coming over.
Right.
Remember, like she used to decorate it for Easter and Halloween, and
always had it ready.
Always had it ready. So I just want you to know how proud I am. And those of you that are listening, I want to thank you for coming on Reality with Vicki. Is there anything that you want to more talk about with your Keto Culberson? I know you're coming out with a YouTube soon, and I'll be sure.
Yeah, we're working on that. Because a lot of people ask me, how did you make this meal? Because I'll take a picture and they'll be like, yeah, but how'd you make it? And I'm like, it's quick, it's easy, it takes 10 minutes. But maybe just that visual of seeing me just throw it all in a pan and kind of the process. And some people say, I don't even know how to cut Brussels sprouts, or how did you take apart that cauliflower like that? Like it's just the simple stuff that a lot of people nowadays aren't used to cooking at home, and it doesn't have to be hard.
I know.
So I think Ryan and we just met with somebody yesterday to try to get our pictures a little better and learn how to take videos a little better so that we can just help people make maybe a 2-minute video of just meals.
I love it.
You're
going to be the new pioneer woman. There's a lot of cooking shows that are out there, but I think when you focus only on healthy eating, keto, staying in keto, how do people know if they're in ketosis?
We use a Keto Mojo blood ketone monitor. It's like a little finger prick, like if you were a diabetic, just a little poke. And then that'll give you your ketone readings and show you if what you're eating is doing your body good, if you're in that metabolic state of ketosis, which it makes your body like a machine. Like I have so much energy. You and I don't get a lot of sleep anyways, but I feel like I never have to sleep. I'm like, I could go.
We are wired with energy. We're both Aries.
Yep.
And when you look at our charts, I don't know if you believe in horoscopes and all that. I remember this gentleman, Brad, we did it on the show. He said, my energy is like a triangle and I'm in the middle of it, where the star, the moon, and the date I was born and the time I was born. Yeah. He said, you are going to die with energy and you can't help it. It's in you. It's bred in you. And I think you've got the same. We just don't enjoy.
I don't sit still very well.
And we don't enjoy watching really TV.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because we were on TV for so long, but it was painful to try to watch ourselves, you know, because I was like, oh my God, it looked terrible, or that outfit was horrible, or blah, blah, blah. But I think when you have natural energy, we don't take anything to have energy. We just are naturally energetic. We're
just doers.
We're doers. I mean, this house is a disaster, but it's getting there, Briana. Can't wait for you to see it. But when I think about, I've only been here 3 days or 4 days, and I've got 90% of the boxes in the house unpacked. You had your whole house unpacked in 1 day, which was crazy. But I just, you know, I miss Michael. I haven't seen Michael in a year. This month, I'm gonna head out to Hawaii. I want you to go with, and we'll go to a really fancy hotel, and we'll go like 4 or 5 days. So you gotta come to California first, and we'll go on a plane out to Hawaii.
Okay? Oh God, with all 3 kids.
Remember little Troy going to Greece?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
We have a lot of fun together. I know you're busy. Troy's home from school. Hank is sleeping.
These virtual days are not good for anybody. They need to go back to school.
So think about it, when you were all 15 months or 13 months in North Carolina, they never went to school.
No, it was all virtual. And you tell 6-year-old hyper Owen to sit in front of a computer. I got 50 text messages a day from his teacher. Owen's wiggling. Owen has a ball in his hand. Owen's playing with his curtains. I'm like, he's 6.
Yeah, he's 6.
It was a rough year. So now they're in school. Owen's full time, and Troy just has Wednesdays virtual days. So,
and they take a bus.
They take a bus right from the
driveway.
So happy. They love it.
The first day of school, Owen's like, I got this. I'm like, you've never been on a bus.
You don't have to walk me. I'm fine. I'm like, what?
Crazy.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Well, I know you're busy. I want to thank you. You know, those of you that are listening, please follow Keto Culbersons on Instagram, and also follow me, Vicki Gunvalson, on Instagram. But follow Reality with Vicki. And I'm going to have Briana back on. We're going to talk more about the keto lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not something you do for a little bit and then get back on, you know, your regular diet, because you will gain the weight back on. If you don't stay keto, it goes back on very quickly, doesn't it, Briana?
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty incredible how fast it will get back on. So just think of it as a lifestyle, and think of it as you're feeding your body with energy versus junk. And you don't need diet pills. You don't need all these things that are being sold. You just
don't need any supplements, no products, nothing. Just eat clean. Just Ryan puts it to the kids, like, eat something that requires oxygen, like meat or vegetables or fruit. If you put it on the counter and it'll rot in 2 days, then that's something you need to be eating, not stuff that can sit in the pantry for 5 years. That's not good for your body. Like, what's in it? Right. So I'm making all of Hank's baby food from organic fruits and vegetables. And I just spend like 2 or 3 days a week. I just spend a couple hours. I make his baby food, and then I have it for a couple of days, and I know what's in it.
Right. Because you don't know what's coming from those factories.
Yeah, it just makes you feel better. You just got to take the time to do it. Put some music on and just cook yourself a meal. It'll feel good. It doesn't have to be complicated, but just think of your body as a machine, and you just give it good fuel, and you're going to feel better. I mean, I'm off all my steroids. I've reduced my medications. I used to take like 10 medications a day. I'm down to 2.
Well, Brian, you're half the size you were when you were at your heaviest. You're half the size you were, and
so much better.
That weight got on quickly. It was the lupus, and it was your illness, and it was just hereditary. Not knowing what to eat.
You don't feel good, so then you just want to eat something. So then you get something bad, and then you feel bad after you eat. So then you take a nap, and then you're exhausted, and you don't feel good, and then it's like this vicious cycle of like. I felt like I was never going to feel good ever again, and I feel the best I have since I was a teenager.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah.
So do you miss being on the Housewives of Orange County?
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I do, but I don't.
I don't want the drama. I just want happy.
Yeah. It became kind of nasty over the years. It became more about like you'd show up and they'd be like, oh, by the way, this person said this about you yesterday. And then so you're all fired up, and then it's like all this confrontation all the time. And you look at like seasons like 1 through 3, and it was just like silly fun.
Us. Don't have sex. Remember when I told you that the senior year?
That's not embarrassing. Like silly fun, like going with the family van and
going to the river. Yeah.
And going to the river, and you getting hit in the head by a football. And that's just the funny stuff that I think people started to miss that too.
Yeah. Well, they missed a lot this past year. There's a lot we didn't talk about.
A lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Going on.
We changed our whole life. You and I both.
Everything. I bought a house in Mexico, bought that house in North Carolina, which we're going to say real quickly. It was vandalized.
Yes. You bought it as a rental property. Your second time renting it. Some 25-year-old rented it, had 300 people there, vandalized it, trashed it, ruined it.
Shots, everything. Yeah. Bad.
Shots fired at police. Terrible. Horrible, awful, terrible, terrible, terrible. That all happened. You decided to sell the house before I decided to sell mine. So I want to make that clear, because everybody thought that I was like bailing on you in North Carolina. All that happened. It changed everything.
Yeah.
Changed our whole viewpoint for our future, because that was supposed to be your vacation home near us. We were supposed to be there with the boys all the time. We couldn't go back there because it was drugs and it was bad. So I couldn't have Hank crawling around there because it was just vandalized and drugs everywhere.
And I had just put $140,000 renovating it, brand new furniture, everything.
Horrible, trashed, ruined.
Horrible. So we've had a bumpy year.
Yeah.
Bumpy year.
But we're good.
We're good. We're good.
We picked it up.
We did. Well, I just want to thank you. Thanks for everyone for subscribing to Reality with Vicki. I love Briana. I know all of you. She's been your fan favorite since season 1. And there's a reason why. She's my girl. Super proud of you. Thank you, Briana. Good. Now go tend to your babies. Okay.
Okay. Love you.
Love you. See you next week.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye, sweetie. Bye.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance. Cognitive function. Powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.